Okay, good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to confirm first that my voice is audible, right? With my colleague here. Is it okay, the voice? Okay, thank you. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first Knox Partner Clinic of this year, 2026. So, we are from Samsung Research Indonesia. So, we can say that it's actually the new initiative from us to give a session for our partners in the Southeast and East Asia regions regarding our Knox certifications update and as well as the Knox product update. So we are very grateful that we have so many partners supporting this session, and many of them can confirm that can join these sessions. So on this webinar, we'll like to share to you some updates regarding our Knox products. The first is that we'd like to share our update on Knox certification first. We change a bit about the agenda order. So today, this morning, we'll start with the Knox certification for 2026 first for all of you. So it will cover related from the Knox certification from the associate level, professional, until the most advanced one, which is the Knox expert certification. We will give you some updates about the contents, about the journey, and as well as the certificate that you can gain from the certification. And the second one is about the Knox updates. So today, our objective is to bring three product updates. The first is related to the Samsung account for business. As you know, since November, we got the Samsung account for business active immediately in the November. And in January, we got some update as well related to the transition of the existing accounts. So we hope that we can share to you in more detail about what is Samsung account for business and how it affects the customers. And the second is will be about the Knox Manage new console. Knox Manage is quite the most popular solution from the Knox solution, and we have update about the Knox Manage new console that will be explained to you today as well. And the last update is related to the Knox Guard Tenant and Hardened security mode. So it's like the Knox Guard new version, which is providing the options in choosing tenants. And we have additional security method, which is called as hardened security mode. So that is all of the topics that we'll cover today. And we'll start directly to the first topic, which is about the Knox certification that will be presented by Aula. So Aula, please share your screen. Apanya?
Okay. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. I will share my screen now. Okay. So let's just start our first topic. So our first topic is regarding trainings and certification update. Also some updates regarding our MSP API, and just to give a brief introduction about what you partners can do regarding our API, and also how to achieve the certification that we have this year. So first of all, what we see of our Knox training program is that we would like to give you partners, ideas, and knowledge about our values and key features of device and solutions. And then we would like to make it specifically for you, all B2B channel partners. And this will have the certification, and it's going to be divided by job role and the products. So our certification is going to be like this. So we have two type of certification. We have Knox certification and then Galaxy certification. So the first thing that we would try to tell you through our certification is the benefits and unique sales point of our Samsung Galaxy and Knox product. And then we will also include reward use cases in our certification, feature and specs of our product, whether it be solution or hardware, and then troubleshooting, especially for our solution, and then testing, especially also for our solution. And if you already understand all this part, you will get certified by us. So we have two type of certification. Our first certification is Galaxy certification. So we have Galaxy Business Associate and Galaxy Business Professional. So our Galaxy Business Certification will consist of why Galaxy for work, and then we will also have information by our phone series and unique selling points of our products, and then specification of our mobile devices, and then definitely also key features of our mobile devices. And then if we are talking about our Knox, we have three certification: Knox Associate, Knox Professional, Knox Expert. Our Knox certification will include Knox Portfolio, Knox Security, and then it will be divided by product, and then it will be informing you regarding our unified endpoint management capability, customization capability, and our fraud protection capability. So that's basically the content of our certification. So let's go through first of our Galaxy Business Certification. So our Galaxy Business Certification is more targeted to the sales and marketing and C-level executive. That's for the associate. Meanwhile, for the professional, is more targeted into the pre-sales. And then the purpose is to help you all to deliver the B2B message of our Samsung devices. And for our professional certification, the purpose is to get into more in-depth and give you detailed description and specification for our device. So when you go into your customer, you know what you're talking about of our devices. So our Galaxy Associate certification, there's only one course, which is Why Galaxy for Work. So it's more like the messaging that we would like to give to our customer through you all as our partners. Meanwhile, our Galaxy Business Professional has 9 courses, in which it consists of our Samsung device series training. So it is going to get more in-depth for our models. So the passing requirement for our Galaxy Associate is just to complete one course and pass the test. Meanwhile, for the professional, you need to complete all the mandatory courses and then lastly pass the test. And you need to retake the certification every 1 year. And associate certification, you don't have any prerequisite. Meanwhile, for the Galaxy Business Professional, you need Galaxy Business Associate before taking it. So that's basically it. So our Galaxy Business certification is more into the device information and then our unique selling points. And then it covers all the characteristic and detailed specification, whether it be smartphones, tablet, our rugged device, or PCs. So that's all about our Galaxy Business Certification. This is just what I explained before. So our Galaxy Business Associate explains the common characteristic of our Samsung Galaxy devices, in which the total duration will be 2.5 hours and targeted to the sales, marketing, and all other partners involved in the device-related work. Meanwhile, for our Galaxy Business Professional, it is going to get more in-depth and will explain more detail about our devices, starting from the S series, Z Fold, A series, rugged device, wearables, tablets, PCs, and others like Enterprise Edition. And the prerequisite is to be Galaxy Business Associate, and the duration will be 5 hours for our certification. And all these two will be accessible through our Samsung Business Academy account. Next, we have Samsung Knox Certification. This is also one of the certification that we would like to push you as much as possible. So our Samsung Knox Certification is targeted to give you comprehensive trainings in Knox and our Samsung in-house enterprise mobility solution and services product. So we would give you the definition of Knox and the detailed description for each product, and then we are trying to give you like contents based on what you need. So we give it to the sales team, the pre-sales team, and then the consultant teams, all different level of certification. And we hope by you doing the certification, you will have necessary knowledge to go to your customer and confidently close the deal and train them and then also handle all their issues. So we have three level of certification. We have Knox Associate Professional Expert, maybe you already know also. So for our Knox Associate, it is targeted to the sales, marketing, C-level, also pre-sales definitely. And the purpose is to learn what is Knox and then how it can be used effectively in the business. So the format of our Knox Associate is going to be more into the use case and story, like how to use Knox for IT admins, how to use Knox for device protection, financing. So that's what we are trying to introduce you in the Knox Associate. So the messaging when you come to the customer, what to say, that's what's going to be covered in our Knox Associate. So the passing requirement to complete one course, pass the test, and the validity is also 1 year. For our Knox Professional, it is targeted for the pre-sales. So the purpose is to understand how Knox works and what's the key feature and the description. And then we have 6 courses in our Knox Professional, which is introduction to each of our Knox solution product. The passing requirement, of course, to complete all the courses and pass the test with the validity of 1 year. And we have the prerequisite to you that you have to complete Knox Associate and Android Enterprise Associate. So it's not enough to only have Knox Associate, you have to also get Android Enterprise Associate before going to Knox Professional. And lastly, we have Samsung Knox Expert, which is targeted more into IT consultant, IT admins, and definitely MSP. And then it's also good if as a pre-sales, you also have information regarding our Knox Expert. And then the purpose is to learn more about the troubleshooting, the problems, and then the deployment. So it is more hands-on, it is more assignment-based. And then the quiz is much harder than the Knox Associate and Knox Professional. But we hope that if you are already taking Knox Expert, means that you really are an expert and then you can handle any problem that your customer have. So that's the goal of our Knox Expert certification. There is only one courses. You just need to complete those courses. But the prerequisite is you have to get Knox Professional and Android Enterprise Professional before you go into the Knox Expert. So this is just what I told before. Knox Associate, it will take 1 hour and then you just to complete one course and pass the test. Knox Professional, it will take you about 3 hours. And then you need to complete all 6 courses in which it includes our Knox security product, our Knox suite, Knox configure, Knox guard, Knox product offering, and also business services. So it is 6 topics that will be covered in our Knox Professional divided per product. And then it will take 3 hours. It will be valid for 1 year and you just need to complete all the courses and pass the test. Lastly, for our Knox Expert, the duration will be 1 hour, but you are expected to also complete the assignment and then complete the quiz to be eligible to be a Knox Expert. So we also have some additional training courses in our SBA. So most of it is Samsung Knox use cases. So there is introduction to our Samsung Knox for MSPs. We have also Samsung Knox for frontline, for school, publisher, for kids phone, and transportation. So if you're trying to like go into those kind of customers and maybe you need some insight how to approach them, you can also look at our SBA and then get some information and go to them confidently. So this is the flow. So if you are a device reseller only, so you don't sell any solution or you are not an MSP, what we expect you to do is to at least get certified as Samsung Galaxy Business Associate and Samsung Knox Associate. And then this is for the sales team, for the marketing and C-level executive. But if you are a pre-sales, we only expect you to get certified on the Samsung Galaxy Business Professional. So this is more focused on the device. Meanwhile, if you are a solution reseller, you are also selling our Knox or you are selling our services, or maybe even further, you are also our MSP, we expect you to get certified of Samsung Knox Associate, Galaxy Business Associate, and complete all our additional trainings. And if you are a pre-sales, we expect you to complete our Knox Professional And even if you are MSP, we expect you to complete our Samsung Knox Expert. And this Knox Expert is also the requirement if you would like to advance on our MSP tier. So we have three MSP tier. We have registered, recommended, and also premium MSP, in which every tier will get promoted in our website. And our premium MSP have extra benefits like free partner technical support. But the requirement for you to get into recommended MSP or premium MSP is to have employee getting Knox Expert. So for recommended MSP, at least one employee. For our premium MSP, at least two of your Knox employee should have Knox Expert. So that's basically our requirement for you regarding the certification. And maybe you also know this, but we have the SBA Samsung Business Academy, and this is the portal that you can take to get certification. Maybe some of you before use Samsung One, maybe right now you already use SBA. So we would like to streamline everything. So for the certification right now, the main portal that we will use is our SBA, except if the pre-sales of your subsidiary is pushing for another portal, then the certification training is usually will be held with the help of the pre-sales of your subsidiary. But for the general public that's not certified through the events by your pre-sales, you can access our certification through our Samsung Business Academy portal. So to access it is you can access through our Knox partner portal, partner.samsungknox.com, and then you can go into training and events, select training and certification, and then you can click launch to go to directly to training portal. Or if you want to directly go to our SBA, you can also access through this link, samsung.csod.com. So you can go to through this link and this will direct you directly into our SBA. Now, I would like to give you some updates regarding our new Knox Expert course. So in 2024, for our Knox Expert, everything is mandatory. So you need to join our workshop like this one, and then you need to do our courses. It was optional in 2024. And then you need to do exam and assignment. So you need to join our workshop, you need to complete the exam, and then you need to complete the assignment. Then you get certified as Knox Expert. In 2025, you no longer need to join our workshop. So you just need to access through our Samsung Business Academy portal. But the course is mandatory. The exam and assignment is also mandatory. So you need to complete all the course, you need to do the exam, and then you need to do the assignment. Meanwhile, in 2026, the only thing really mandatory for you is the exam and the assignment. So the workshop like this time is actually optional for you to get certified as Knox Expert. And then we have some courses, which is the Knox Expert, the basics. We have the use case courses, in which instead we have the product update, MSP, and API information also. But all these three is skippable if you already know the material. But if you have never got certified as Knox Expert before, we highly encourage you to still follow all these courses. And then after you complete all these courses, or maybe you skip all these courses, you just need to do the exam, in which we have new exam. We got some feedbacks regarding last year exam, and we have made some adjustment to this year exam. So hopefully it will suit your needs better for the exam. And then we also have some update regarding our assignment. So that's what we have in 2026. So now, what are we teaching you in our courses? So we have the Knox Expert the basics. What does it consist of? It consists of the design, manage, and troubleshoot. How to design the UAM for your customer, how to manage the UAM for your customer, and then how to troubleshoot the UAM for your customer. So what we expect, if you are a new expert, you never get certified before, we expect you to do this Knox Expert basics first. And then you to also learn our use cases, use case question, testing, scenario-based question, assignment, and then you also to follow all our additional courses regarding product updates, license management, enterprise edition, and MSP plus API. If you are only doing a renewal, you can skip these basics, the design, manage, troubleshoot. For example, last year you already get certified, then you just go through to the use cases, testing, assignment, and then you get certified. Or if we happen to like do a workshop offline, for example, or online through your pre-sales, we will cover the basic knowledge, the demo use cases, and also the Knox Expert basics. So you can skip all those three and go directly into the test and assignment. So that's the structure of our new Knox Expert. So this is the courses. So the design is how to register and onboard device. The manage is how to manage your customer, update policy, application, OS, and many more. And then troubleshoot is how to troubleshoot and how to analyze the issue and find the relevant solution. So this is the structure. So we have the design part, manage part, copy of manage, and then we have troubleshooting, and then we have use cases. So this is the format that we will have. This is, for example, the use cases that we have in our Knox Expert module about banking. For example, we will tell you about the opportunity in the banking industry, what is the business challenge of our banking industry, for example. Like this key challenge, industry usually asks for data security and compliance, and then they need device management and integration, they need employee training, they need scalability, and they need support infrastructure. So this is usually the challenge we have on banking industry. And then we also the requirement. So usually the requirement if the banking industry is to monitor device usage and then prevent unauthorized apps, things like that. So all this information is already available through our Samsung Business Academy portal in our Knox Expert courses. This is for the design part. So the design, we will tell you how to design the UAM application to your customer. So we will give you the design phase guides of how to create enrollment profile, assign business application, establish basic security policies, and configure a firmware campaign and how to enroll it into the device. So basically, we tell you how to use our Knox solution portal. And then this is also the manage. So this is the same, the format, like the form of our material in our certification. And then lastly, the troubleshoot, we will tell you how to locate the issues of your partner and how to find relevant solution via collecting logs and then KSP logs and then also using our Knox remote support. And then lastly, I would like to tell you as maybe some of you are our MSP, I would like to promote our MSP APIs and integration. First of all, our teams are very eager to help you. So whenever you are trying to, for example, use MSP, for example, maybe you are trying to use SDK, whether it be MSP for Knox, MSP for MSP, for example, sorry, API for MSP, we are very eager to help you. We have our own development team, so you just need to contact your pre-sales and your pre-sales will connect you to us and we will help you on the integration process. For our MSP portal API, we have several functions. First is the regarding customer management. So you will be able to update details of an existing managed customer, remove a managed customer from your account, get managed customers detail, and also get details of all of your specific managed customers. And then service delivery, you will be able to create a new managed customer, add an existing managed customer to your MSP account, copy profiles from customer A to customer B, and overwrite profile. And then lastly, you will be able to create custom reports like this one on the left. So by utilizing our API, you will be able to create custom reports to send to your customers. And that's basically it regarding the material of our certification. This is extra information if you would like to have some local like knowledge, you want to use the local learning platform. For example, in Indonesia, you have Samsung1.id, Singapore, Samsung1.com.sg. You can also access this. There is marketing material, and then there is some certification inside there. That's the same with Samsung Business Academy. So that's basically it from my side. If you have any question, I will be very happy to answer it. You can just directly write in the Q&A section, and then I will answer it also through the chat in the Q&A section. And yeah, that's it. I will give it back to our host, Agustina.
Thank you, Aula, for the explanation on the Knox certification. So, to add on Aula's statement, so if you have any questions, we got two types of media for you. There is a chat section that you can use to type any message for the host and the presenters directly, or you can also use the Q&A sections. On the Q&A, if the question is put there, the other participants will be able to see the questions, but you can still use the anonymous if you prefer so. So let's move on to the next topic. It will be about the Samsung account for business. So it will be presented by me. I will share my screen in a bit. Okay. Is it okay? All right. Yeah, okay. Okay, so the next topic will be about the Knox Cloud services with Samsung Account for Business. So as you already know, since the November 2025, we launched this Samsung Account for Business to be the default account setting for new participants or new member of our Knox solution. So once they register, they will be directed to the Samsung account for business creations and then followed by the Knox account creations. So today we'll talk and take a bit review about this product. So the Samsung Account for Business is actually a new initiative from Samsung to make sure that we will provide an end-to-end life cycle of employee accounts for the enterprise. And we want to make sure that there will be separate work data from the personal Samsung accounts. As you know, before the Samsung account for business available, the employee or the IT admins of the Knox is basically using the personal Samsung account for the login, even though it's for business purpose. So using the Samsung account for business, we want to make sure that the enterprise can use the valid B2B account and separate it from the employee's personal account. And the purpose of each account type will be very different, which is for work purpose and for personal purpose. So that's the main idea. And more than that, we want to also facilitate the enterprise, which maybe has a lot of Knox accounts, maybe in the multiple countries or multi different purposes. So even though they have many different Knox accounts, they can still manage the admins or the users through a single validated portal, which is the Samsung Account for Business, which is will be owned mainly by the main customer. So that's the main idea. And this is a timeline that we shared actually from last year. So the testing has been launched since the May last year actually, and the latest update was released in January 26 this year. So from January 26, we start to allow our existing Knox customers to migrate from their existing Knox account to be Samsung account for business. So currently, the existing account is mainly still using the personal Samsung account. And from this year, the idea is to slowly guide the customers to move their personal account to be Samsung account for business. And on this day, I will be focusing on the guidance about how actually the customer can do these transitions and how actually it affects the existing access. Will it be affecting their existing Knox account? Because it will be very concerning if it will affect the production of their devices that has been enrolled and used. So that's the idea today, and I will try to go through the step one by one about the transition. So this is how the login process happen right now before the SAB. So basically, the user just need to log in with their Samsung account or Samsung email, which is the format is the user ID at samsung.com, and That's how they can enter easily to the Knox portal. And after login, actually, using the old account, they can log into the normal Knox portal, right? And after the January, actually, they have the option to do the transition. So basically, the step is first, they need to log into the Knox admin portal as usual using their existing Samsung account, which is, of course, it's falling under personal type. And then in the Knox portal, since January, if you are aware, there will be a new banner like this. So it's available under the What's New section. It states as switch your sign-in method to Samsung account for business. And other than that, you can also find it if you log into the Knox portal, you have the icon showing your account initial, right, in the round icon. If you click on it, you will see this option as well. In case the banner already missing, you can always find it under your account initial icon in the right top of the Knox portal, and then click on it, you will get this option as well for the transition. And once you click on the get started, basically it will open up a new page. You will be directed to a new page showing this information. So basically it will show the customer or the user about what is Samsung account for business, and what kind of type is that account and what's the purpose, just briefly. And then it will show the step-by-step guidance. So the first thing that they need to do is, of course, to sign up to Samsung Account for Business first in case they do not have it yet. But the second scenario is actually that they maybe have the Samsung Account Business already because they did the registration through the Samsung Account for Business portal directly. So the transitions can be started with these options, either sign up new one or using the existing Samsung Account for Business. So after finishing the signing up or sign-in process, it will go to the next step, which is the register your company. This one is maybe a bit tricky. I will check if we have. Yeah. So this is the slide that giving more detail on it. So on this register your company, you will need to enter the company details, including the DUNS and VAT number, DUNS or VAT number, or the valid business registration that is working in that country, in that specific country. So for your information, the DUNS and VAT number is mandatory. It cannot be bypassed or whitelisted from that. So the DUNS is mandatory, but if DUNS is not available, you can go with VAT. But if VAT is not available as well, you can use just your national business registration, because at the end, the reviewer will be the local power user in the country. So they can always verify with the local national business registrations ID that works in that specific country. Okay, so after you complete this SAB sign up and also company registrations, you can actually you will need some time to get it all approved because it goes through the verification and so on. So after this step, actually you can just continue using Knox service while waiting for the approval. So don't go to the step 4 first until you can confirm that step 1, step 2 have been approved. So basically, maybe you need to wait like 1 or 2 days, or even if there is issue, we can always follow up and support you to speed up the process. So after the step 2 and step 3, you can actually go back to your portal and do the usual operations the Knox portal will be still working, so there will be no issue. Uh, it will be working as usual. And after you confirm that you got the approval is confirmed via email. You need to always check your email about the status. And once it's confirmed, then you can proceed with the step 4, which is start the switch. So from here, we'll be closer from transitioning through the SAB account. So after you click start the switch, it will be directing you to the next step that you need to complete, which is the review and validate accounts ID. So basically here, it will be showing all this admins that available within that account, start from the super admin and including all the sub admins that will be included in the invitation. So uh, you need to from before that there will be like a small confirmation page first before you get this list, because you need to uh, confirm first whether you want to verify the company domain first or not. But my suggestion is to skip first to make it quick, because the domain verification can be always done later through the Samsung Confirm Business portal. So it's not mandatory to be done here. So my suggestion is to skip and continue first to ensure that the transition can be done successfully first, and the verified domain can be performed later. So on this case, let's say we click skip and continue, and we will go to this page to confirm the sub admin. So this means that for the super admin, the account for login will be auto created. But for the sub admin, they will receive like invitations to create their Samsung account for business, because this account will be transitioned as Samsung account for business or SAB. Then all the sub admin here should be doing the same transition as well, which is converting their personal account to be SAB account. So each of these sub admin will get invitation to their email, and they will just need to accept the invitation and go through the SAB registrations using the email that is listed here. So once they complete, they will have SAB account for accessing the Knox portal. Okay. So on other case, in case the Samsung account for business use is already the existing one, you didn't sign up from the beginning, but you instead log in with the existing SAB account. And in case that SAB account having already some domain that has been verified before, then you can select the preferred domain for all account ID here. So let's say you have two domains, then here you can select the domain that you want to use for this account login later in the SAB. Okay, so after the administrator confirmation in previous page, you will go to the next page, which is to complete the account transition. So on the first case, you don't have verified company domain, so you will directly to click yes switch to proceed further the switching. Or in case you have one or more verified company domains, you have the opportunity to confirm the final domain that you will be used for the SAB account. So at the end, this is the end page that will be confirm for the transition about the admin list. So you got some additional information here about your Knox sign-in method is no Samsung account for business. So it means that you need to log in with the new email address. The user ID should be still the same, but the domain account will be different. Okay, so go back to here. I just want to confirm that this is the end of the transition step. So from here, the IT admin, especially the super admin, will need to log into the Knox portal using the SAP address. Usually, it is in the format like the user ID at the company domain .account.samsung.com instead only at samsung.com as before. So yeah, that's the step. And the next is sub-admin onboarding. So as I mentioned before, if the sub-admin, if the super admin do this transition, the sub-admin will receive invitation on their email. They will need to onboard to SAB as well. So here is the sub-admin should do. Okay, so the first case is that sub-admin may be using the account or email address that has been taken by Samsung account case. So it means that this sub-admin has the same email address used as sub-admin and as well as their Samsung B2C account or Samsung personal account. So on that case, this admin will need to change their personal account first. So they will get an email notifying that the super admin has switched the Knox portal to be B2B account, but unfortunately your account that is used as sub admin on the Knox portal is the personal or B2C account. So if you want to continue using the same account to access Knox portal, you need to firstly change the personal account ID first. So that's the idea or the message that we want to tell to this super sub admin. So they need to update the email address and then they will be directed to the login page to their personal Samsung account login page. And then here they can get the opportunity to change the email ID and then they get confirmation about email ID has been changed. Uh, and basically it will change their personal Samsung account ID and then finally he can continue using the existing email address for accessing the Knox portal by doing the next step, which is the privacy notification confirmation. And that's it. They can log into the Samsung Knox portal as before using their existing account, but with the new SIB domain. So yeah, it sounds complicated maybe, but in case you got any confusion or issue, just let us know. Okay, and for additional notes, maybe during the transition, there will be some sub-admin which is still in the pending stage, meaning the super admin has sent invitation to these sub-admin candidates, but the sub-admin candidates have not approved the invitation. This means that this pending sub-admin will be not included to the switching, so it will be deleted. And to solve this, of course, the super admin will need to send the invitation again for those pending sub admins. They can do either from the SAB or from the Knox portal. So both works for admin invitations. All right, so this is how it looks after the transitions. As I mentioned before, if before we log in, let's say we did test at samsung.com, and after the transition, it will be showing like this instead. There will be the company domain joining the full domain here. So let's say it's test at company.samsung.com. So in case you don't want to include this samsung.com and only use the test at company.com, you will need to verify your company domain. I will explain the step later. So basically when you create the SAB account or you switch to the SAB account, the format, the new format for login is like this. it will be the user ID. Let's say for me it's Agustina at company.account.samsung.com. So that's the default format that you'll receive. This will be used for logging into both Samsung account for business portal and then Knox portal. So after the switch, you need to use this one. But if you do the domain verification, you can shorten, of course, the login information that you can use to specifically using your company domain. So after the verifications, it will be user ID at company.com. And yeah. So to verify your company domain, basically you need to log into your SAB portal right here, and you need to go to the settings, then account settings. Then you will see this kind of page, and you will see the domain section here to do the domain verifications. And you need to click add, enter your domain URL, and then click next. And you will see a field like you need to copy the shown txt record here. You need to copy from here and then add to your company DNS server or DNS settings. And once it's verified, you can click verify from here, and then the domain list, the domain that you registered will be auto edit here, and you can freely pick later which domain that you will use for the login. All right, so yeah, that's for the SAB account transitions. I think we got some questions here. Okay, I think I will read it. I used to invite my colleague, but it failed and mentioned they have their own Samsung account. Okay, actually, that's the case that I shared before as well. If the account has been used for the personal account, actually the the admin that is invited should be receiving the email to get the option to change their personal account so they can use the Knox portal. But we need to see the case deeply. We need to make sure that the account has not been part of any other Knox account as well, so it will not multiply the issue. So I think if that's the case, you can send us the detail. I will. I think I will announce our team email address so you can share to us in more detail about the issue, like what is your Knox account ID, and also what is the address of the admin that you need to invite. Okay. Next question is that if the business account was set up with a random number account.com, is there a chance to change it? The random number is too difficult to remember. Okay, because the random number account is generated because you didn't provide your business website. So actually the default address will be created based on the website address that you enter during the registrations. But if it's already created with a random account, you have two options. The first one is to verify your domain, your company domain account to make it shorten. Or the second, in case you want to create using your company website and then .account.samsung.com, you need to try from the SAB portal, enter your business website or your company website first, and then you can create the ticket for us to follow up with the account team to change the account format. So that's the option. But my recommendation is actually to verify your domain if possible, because the step is much more simple. You don't need to create ticket. You don't need approval. You just need to click add domain from the portal and verify on your domain server, and that's it. For domain registration, can we use email verification instead of adding TXT record to domain? So far, we only got the TXT options for the domain verification that's still required. But I think this one we can raise as an VOC to the SIB team, whether there will be additional option in the future release. Because actually, like in the first half, maybe in June or July, we will share more update and more feature for SAB, and maybe this one feedback that we can add for the new feature updates, but we cannot guarantee when will be released. But yeah, we will take note of that for the feedback to the SAB team. All right, I think because of the time, we'll move on to the next topics, but I will also reshare my answer in the Q&A section, so you can still copy the answer for later. Thank you. So the next topic will be the Knox Guard, right? Or Knox Manage Your Console. Okay, so yeah, back to the presenters.
Okay, I will share my screen. Okay, so I will update you regarding our new update of our Samsung Knox Manage New Console, in which it is a new and simplified way to manage your device. So, uh, so our Knox Manage New Console is trying to join all other solution in a single glaze of pen, so you don't need to switch tabs. So usually when you are opening the Knox Manage, you have to go into the new tab like ep01.manage.samsung.com. So usually that's the experience that you have. But with this recent update, we just need to still use the left one. Sorry, wait a minute. Okay, so right now with the new update, you can just access it directly into our central Samsung Knox admin portal. So you don't need to go to the new place. So how to activate this update? So when you go into our central portal, you need to go to the settings, and then after you go to the settings, you need to go to the Knox Manage, and then you go to the general settings. In the general settings, you will be shown these options to go to the preference, and then you can just choose if you want to go into the new console or you want to use the past console that you maybe already more accustomed to. So this is how to update. After you update to the new console, then the Knox Manage will no longer redirect you into new tabs, but directly accessible through the Knox admin portal. Okay, so we also have several key UX improvement and major changes. First, we have single pane of glass, navigation menu, devices, groups. We also have changes in the profile policy, application, reports, and logs. So first, as I said before, Knox Manage is now part of Knox Admin Portal, so you can access Knox Manage directly from our central, not opening new tabs. And the idea is so you'll be able to control all solutions from one portal, including the devices on and license. So you no longer need to like check every like page if the device is already inside. You don't need to check if the license is already attached. Now everything is visible through the central admin portal. Next, we also improve the navigation experience. So we expect you to have more smoother experience like this. So before we like have multiple points, like everything is you click, drag and drop. This is just an improvement in the UX. So right now everything is more streamlined. Everything have a less items, so you could look what you want to look better. So this is the idea. We try to categorize everything based on the things that you usually need, and this is the result of the improved UX. And then next, regarding the device, we have several updates. We have now favorite and search for device actions. So for example, if we would like to use some device command like lock screens and then clear screen lock, for example, reset SD card, play alarm sound, or power off, we now can like add the favorite. So if you use it often, for example, your customer often needs help in like unlocking device or locking device or clearing the screen, you can just open it from the favorite tab. And then now the quick device command is at one place. And then also the device detail access, we change it into a sliding panel right now. So you can still see the other device during seeing the detail of one device that you target. So this is just simple UX change. And then the group side, now we have easy to access details, and then we can come back to the previous view. So if before we, for example, checking the one group, we can come back to those group after moving to the next group. And then we also have the rule-based dynamic group creation. So now we can create group not manually using, for example, the email, you collect everything, but now we can use the rule-based dynamic group creation. Next, regarding the application, now the application is nested under the library section. So here we have library, and the library we have apps and content. So prior to this, on our old portal, we have application, we have profile or policies, and then we have content, three different points. Now the apps and content is combined into the library section. And then we are now able to configure application in bulk. So we have bulk app configuration, now it's supported. And then we also have application categorization visibility improvement. So now we can see if the application is in-house or is it a system apps. And then we also can do the bulk action. That's the improvement on the application setting. Next, we also have new way to create profile. So when we create profile, now we can like specifically decide if it is going to be fully managed or work profile via the policy creation, not only via the KME. And then we can also search for policies, and then we also introduce the iconography. So you can see the policies based on category more easily. That's what we are aiming for. And then at the end, we will be able to view the detail of our profile after we set it. So this is the improvement on the profile side. And then we also have UX improvement on the search. So we can now navigate the search result in the left area, and we will highlight the policy. So like this, for example, we search the mode. So for example, we have developer mode on the device, we have search mode on the connectivity, everything is on the left side, you can navigate it. And then after you click, for example, the developer mode, it will be highlighted, so you see directly where is the thing that you are looking for. So this is the improvements. Also, now we have a new policy concept. So now policies can be reusable between profile. So before one profile, one policy, but now we can use it between profile. So we have policy one, policy two, policy three. We can combine it, use it again in different profile. So before we have one, for example, one user profile, and then we have policy one, policy two, and then we just set like which one is going to on a higher priority. But right now we can use, for example, different profile, but still like this. Before we have profile one, but policy one, policy two, we can insert into profile one, but we cannot copy the policy two into the profile two. That's what we had before. But right now we have, for example, profile 1, they can use 2 policy, like policy 1 and policy 2, but we can also use the policy 2 into the profile 2. So that's the idea of our new policy concept. So when we are creating policy, now we can assign it a name, and then we can save it as configuration as a preset for future use. So you can, as I said, policy 2, now we can use it on another profile if we want. And then when we apply the same policy into another profile, now we have the ability to load the save policy, in which it will restore all its previously settings. And then once a save policy is loaded in the portal, we can modify specific policy within it. So we can create like a policy just as a base settings for example, every school is going to use this kind of policy. But later, for example, we have a specific school that wants to have different policy, we can modify it later. And then lastly, after we deploy the policy, the profile to the device, we can also update the save policy at any time. And then any profile that incorporates this policy will automatically receive and apply the latest setting. So that's the update regarding the profiles and the policy. And next, we also have some updates. Before, kiosk is having its own place on the left side, the kiosk, but right now the kiosk is part of policy. So you don't need to configure kiosk separately, like creating kiosk first and then adding it in the profile. But now you can directly add kiosk in the policy side. And then we also have some UX improvement on our kiosk, and then you can now preview the kiosk before, even though we have some preview function like this in the kiosk builder. But what it's shown on the device might not be as accurate, but now we can preview. For example, when you choose multi-app or single app, you can preview it on this, like what it's going to look like in your device. So little UX improvement. Next, we also revamp the create report feature. So we make it more user-friendly, we improve the UX, and then also you can see the preview of the created report. So maybe you haven't never used the report, so you can try to use it right now if you want to use the report. So if you use the report right now, you can add the dynamic data here, and then you can see the preview. For example, you want to see the group, device by group, for example. You can create report based on, for example, here you want to measure the device count and then compare it to the enrolled device, maybe for your management. You can now use this report feature, and it has some upgrades. Next, we also have now the unified logs navigation bar. So now every log is on this place here. So everything is unified, whether it be activity logs, device logs, or group action logs. So you now can see logs via one single pane. So the Knox manage logs, we have activity logs, which is activity, certificates, KSP, API, IDP, and then we have device log and group logs. The detail is still the same like before, like activity logs, it still includes all information like the last thing we have, but now we just improve how you search for the logs. For example, you want to see only the certificate related logs, you can see here. You want to see the API integration logs, you can see here, or identity provider logs, you can see here. So this is some adjustment regarding the logs. Now, what about the existing Knox Manage, and then how to transition from the past Knox Manage into this new console? So first of all, the past Knox Manage, the one that's on the new tab, will still continue its functionality, and there will be no immediate forced migration. So you can manage your device in both console consistently. You can use the old Knox Manage, or maybe you use the new Knox Manage. Even though you change the console setting, you can still access both of them, and you can still manage all your device on both portal. And then you have control over when you transition in a few years. So we are still in the transitional phase. You can move into the new console anytime you want for several years from now. But we strongly encourage you to use the new console, especially if you are managing only Android device fleet, because the original console will be deprecated in the future. So this is the roadmap. So 2406, we have the new console roadmap for the Android essential feature. 2606 update, we will have Android major feature, change default console setting and new console default for customers. 2609, We will have updates in which we will include other platform like Apple, Wear OS, Windows, and Chrome, and then also new UX improvement. Meanwhile, the original console we just continue its operation. And then on 2027 later, January, we will give you a new feature policy and will be added in new Knox Managed console. And original console will be deprecated in 2028. So if you have team that's more used into the old console, you can start to use our new console and then get used to it and then try to migrate to our new console. So this is the transition guide. I already tell you on the front, but I will retell you how to move into the new console. First of all, you go into the Knox admin portal and then you click into your account icon on the right side, this one, account item, your name, for example, AP. And then after that, you click settings on your account item. And then you go into the Knox Manage and click the general settings in the Knox Manage. And then after you click the general settings, you will be moved into this page and then you can choose the preferences. In the preferences, you can choose the new console. And then you just click save. And that's basically how it is. It's very simple to move into the new console. And you can switch between the new and original console anytime you want. The new policy concept in the new console changed a little bit way of profile and policy management. And this concept is introducing better usability, but requires IT admin manual steps for transition. So, first of all, you have to understand for this profile, the profile created in the original console, we can view it on the new console, but we cannot edit, assign, or unassign or view the summary in the new console. So if you have existing profile in the original console, we expect you to create it in the new console if you want to edit, assign, unassign, or view summary. Because in the new console, you can only view it. So what you need to do, as I said before, first, IT admin shall create new profile in the new console and assign them to the same groups. And then the profile from the new console are pushed and deployed on the device. So that's basically it. And also optional, if you no longer use the old console, you can just unassign those profile from the original console. So yeah, as I said before, the updates on the profile policy is quite massive. So it is still usable in the old console. If you have some customer in the old console, they can still manage it. But if you want to move to the new console, you need to recreate your profiles there. And yeah, that's basically it regarding my update for the Knox Manage New Portal. If you have any question, just place it on the Q&A section and I will answer it by typing it. And I will give it back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aula. So that's about the Knox Management Console. I'm not sure if Aula has mentioned it, but I just want to add a new update that regarding the Knox Management Console, it will be by default uh, available for the new registration since June 2026. So for any new registrations, the new user will be getting the Knox manage new console instead of the old one. Okay, so yeah, that's the updated info. So for the next topic, which is the last one, will be about the Knox card, which is by shared by Bayu.
Right, I believe you can see the screen. Okay, so for the next guard update 2026, we'll be focusing on the two major pillars on our update. The first is on the tenant domain, and the second one is for the hardened security mode. So to understand where are we going, we must look at the foundations, as you see on the Samsung security platform. So NoxGuard provide high assurance security for device financing, of course. through a vertical integrated stack that span from the chipsets and hardware identifier up to the kernel and into the application layer. So, and however, as the device installment business has grown and uh, it reached out throughout the year, the exponential growth. That's the hacking business as well. So we've seen increased attempt to manipulate the KG elements to prevent devices from locking when payment are missed. So for that, our team is constantly raised against these hacking threats. Whenever new vulnerability is detected in the market, the KG teams, our KG teams, definitely works to resolve this security issue immediately. So, as a key takeaway from our research is that the different use cases of the hacking require different security uh, uh, tackle or security postures. So, for the financing use cases, which are highly exposed to fraud, of course, require the hardened security mode. So, this mode implements the robust security features, even if they slightly restrict device usability. But conversely, for the non-financing cases with lower risk, our priority remains ensuring a seamless user experience and maximum stability and maximum usability, of course. So to better serve these needs, we have classified the Knoxguard into five distinct domains. The first one is the device financing. Uh, Second one is device insurance. And then next we have for enterprise domain. And next is the Samsung internal asset protection. And we also cover others. Others domain is actually can be based on per customer request. So if so the hardware security mode now will be applied by default to all financing customers because this mode is a unique set of the mechanism and policy specifically designed to deter hacking and prevent fraud. While for other domains like enterprise or insurance, this mode can be applied upon specific customer requests. So as you can see on the pictures in our as-is model, locking was heavily reliant on the cloud and the server side. So in the new one, in the new one model, we are implementing what we so call with the hardware-based policies decision point, the PDP. So it's implemented directly on the device itself. So with such a mechanism, this actually allows for offline lock to be applied by default. This carry out by minimizing policy decision points and expanding execution points within the device hardware and the Knox kernel itself. So Samsung make it significantly harder for hackers to bypass the lock. The core of this update is a shift in our locking architectures. So we're kind of moving forward to a zero trust principle, which is never trust, always verify. So the transparency is vital for the end users. That's why we are increasing user awareness as well by clearly displaying which KG policy are active. So as you can see on the left, on the right side, so we increase the end user awareness of the applied KG policies. So user will be able to see the specific notification if For example, if the camera access is blocked and performance is restricted, or if an offline lock is imminent due to lack of network connection. In the term of the operations, we are starting with the private review for the hardware security permission for the KG 3.0 devices, followed by the general availability for the entire finance domain. But as you see on this page, please note that devices launched with One UI 8.0 or lower will remain on the KG 2.0 and will not support hardened security mode. So the transition to KG is tied to the hardware and software generations. The KG 3.0, which support the new hardened security mode, will be available on device launch with One UI 8.5 or higher. So, for example, here you can see on the uh, in this page. So while the S24 remains on the KG 2.0, the upcoming model like S26 and A17 will support the KG 3.0 and the enhanced security feature as I already discussed before. So with this roadmap ensures that uh, any financing partner have the most robust tool available to protect their asset or their financing campaign or program with their customer. Okay, so that will be all for the KG updates. Thank you very much for the time. If you do have any question, please feel free to add it on the. And in the meantime, I will give it back to the moderator, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mas Bayu. So yeah, there are some questions from Okay, yeah. So there are some questions still not answered in the Q&A. I think please everyone wait for it. We'll try to give the answer on the chat section because I think I got feedback from some participants that they cannot hear clearly and they prefer to get the answers on the chat. So we'll try to answer no. So please wait a moment and refer to our answers on the Q&A section.
Yeah, the the first question I think is on the although this API question is it related to KG or the previous one? I'm not really sure. But in general, for the API, blocking and unblocking email, if you refer to lock and unlock, that is available. But if you mean that is a blocking email or unblocking email for the device registration purpose, actually it is not available. And then second question, if the customer keep using the old profile with the policy is, oh, this is already answered. Okay. Is it possible to using KG for device that already active? How about use KG for another brand Android, maybe she brand? So KG is highly developed under using the Knox feature that embedded on the device, and then we unload it on the firmware section. So it is not available for another brand. Right. And then okay, I think that will be all. Is the second question, the other question is also already answered by Aula. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. So before we are
Sorry, Bugusna. I think you're muted.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
What about now? Okay. Sorry, so
again.
I spoke before, but I think my sound was not audible. So I will repeat again. So I have shared our team email address on the Q&A section. So in case you still have any questions or you want to follow up more on your questions here, just send us email. We will ensure to reply as soon as possible to follow up. And after this session, we will send you email with all the materials that we presented today, as well as with some additional informations that we cannot share today. And we got some questions for you here, just simple survey questions, and hopefully you can answer uh, about the questions that I just upload. So it's about asking your feedback whether this kind of webinar will be beneficial for you. So this will help us to decide whether we need to continue this initiative throughout the year. And another pause, just one more questions. Oh, ini. Yeah. Another question is, how often do you think this webinar should be held? Like, is it better in bi-monthly, quarterly, or in per half or per semester? So yeah, hopefully we can get your feedback to plan our webinar. Okay, I can see the voting still running. I think I will wait for more. Okay, so far 63% or around 20 people already voted. And I think is that all, team? Okay. Yeah, most voted is quarterly. So let's see. We'll follow up and send you any invitations anytime around quarter 2 then. Hopefully it can be organized as planned. Okay, so thank you everyone for all partners that have been joining on this today webinar. And again, just send us email if you have any inquiries. Thank you and have a good day ahead. Bye bye all.